Hello students, this is your geography lesson. In this lesson, we are reading Unit 8 Power Sources. So we start our lesson. Students, the progress of any country depends upon the power sources provided by nature. The power sources not only fulfill the electricity requirement of the country but also play an important role in the industrial development of the country. Usually, coal, mined oil, natural gas, and electricity, etc., are included in power sources. We have read about different power sources in the class. Today we will read about thermal electricity, and hydroelectric power. So come to page number 143 and read and understand more about thermal electricity. What is thermal electricity? It can be generated when non-renewable sources are used to make heat and steam to move the turbines such as oil, coal, and gas. Electricity is a flexible form of energy that can be easily converted to heat, light, or sound energy. Electricity that is generated by non-renewable resources like oil, coal, gas, nuclear fuel is called thermal electricity. Fossil fuels and nuclear power stations produce heat energy. This is used to turn water into steam, which is then used to run turbines. So we can say electricity is produced with the help of fossil fuels, natural gas, oil, coal. Fossil fuels are used to produce steam in boilers which rotates turbines, which then turns shaft quickly into a generator within a magnetic field, so electricity is produced. Alternative energy resources. Here in the figure you can say Earth's alternative sources of energy are wind power, solar power, geothermal power, wave and tidal power, hydroelectric power, and biomass. Now come to hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power in Pakistan. Here you can say hydropower is a primary domestic source of energy in Pakistan. Electric power is a stimulant for the socio-economic uplift of the country. Now come to page number 144 and understand more about the hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric power stations use the force of flowing water to spin the hydro turbines. From a hydro turbine, there is a shaft going into a generator. Because the water has made the hydro turbine spin rapidly, this shaft spins rapidly inside a magnetic field in the generator, and this generates electricity. The electric current is regulated by the transformer and sent through the power line at the required voltage. you can see from the figures here in the figure 8.31 and 8.32. Figure 8.30 shows some of the factors needed for a hydroelectric power station. HEP is best developed in the mountainous regions where precipitation is adequate and there is a steep slope or gradient. Figure 8.34 shows the location of hydroelectric power plants at Tarbela, Mangla and Warsak dams and at other sites. Here we see in the figure 8.33 thermal power station and HEP. Fossil fuels will eventually be exhausted. Water is a renewable resource which is used to generate HEP and it will not be exhausted. Fossil fuels cause pollution when they are burned and are not environmentally friendly. HEP is referred to as white coal. So we can say at HEP stations electricity is produced with the help of water. Water of reservoirs passes through the dam very quickly. It goes into a narrow intake pipe which rotates turbines which then turns shaft quickly into a generator within a magnetic field provoking electricity to be produced. From transformers of HEP stations, electricity goes on to transmission lines, natural grid, which are either underground or overhead. Then on to local supply, Friday voltage adjusted. After the adjustment is then transmitted to domestic and commercial consumers. And what are the main HEP stations and their locations? Tarbela on the river Indus, Mangla on the river Jhelum, Warsak on river Kabul. So students, this is your lesson for today. Thank you for listening. Take care. Allah Hafiz.